Good morning, Foresters. Amy has been after me to make a video for the biscuits. Apparently, a lot of people have been asking her what's my biscuit recipe. It's a pretty simple one. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Then there's, right in here, I've got a half a teaspoon of salt, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's right in this right here. And there's 3 tablespoons of sugar in this. We use the organic cane sugar. Alright, I put that in there. And then before I forget about it, we need to go over here to the oven. And I think I'm going to use the top oven. Let's go to, yeah, we'll use this one because it goes 450. And I'll put that on. We need to get the oven preheated. So we got that going. Alright, so I'm just going to use my cutter and kind of stir the dry ingredients in a little bit. And then, now for the secret for these biscuits is I use grated frozen butter. Because a lot of people make their biscuits and they just use butter right out of the refrigerator. And by the time they grate it and go or chop it up and put it in the flour, which you can do that. If you don't want to grate the butter, I know it's kind of a pain. You can cut it in, but you can cut it up and then cut it into your flour. But that really kind of makes it a little harder, if you ask me. So I just start off by cutting this in a little bit. This is really the hardest part of it, is getting all the flour, getting all the butter cut into the flour. You want the little chunks of butter to be about pea size. And you want to work with the frozen butter, that way the butter is still cool when you put the biscuits in the oven. It's not already melted and throughout the flour. That way you get those little pockets of and that's good right there. You can see the butter's all about pea-sized little chunks. And then 1 egg. I use duck eggs for this. I use duck eggs for all my baking. And then 1 cup of whole milk. And then you mix that up. This should be a wet batter. It should be a little bit on the wet side. If it's dry, add more milk. Alright. Once you get that kind of stirred in there a little bit, you kind of got to get your hands dirty here. See how it's kind of wet and sticky? That's what you want. put a little bit of more flour on the on my board here. This is my container of all-purpose flour. I do a lot of baking.
Yes, he does.
I make breads and everything else, so I
And that-
really go through the flour.
That'll hold what, 25 pounds?
Yeah. Close to 25 pounds. I still have a little bit left in the bag I gotta dump in there. I'll probably do that after I make bread today. Alright. There's the flour. And now you just want to knead this a little bit. About 10 times. And I just kind of fold it over and smash it. Make sure you keep this floured here. We're creating all those layers on your flaky biscuits by doing this like that. Alright, just a little bit more flour. Flour to my rolling pin and roll this out to about 3/4 of an inch thickness. And this is my expensive biscuit cutter. Can you guess what this is made out of? Alrighty. So where is my spray? Give this pan just a little spray here. And I love this Baker's Joy. I use this for bread and everything else. It has flour in the oil mixed in. It makes flouring pans a whole lot easier. And we just cut our biscuits. Yeah, that one's these on this side are a little thinner than what I want, but they'll work. And you can usually make about 12 biscuits out of this. Sometimes I don't get 12 biscuits because Amy likes to eat my biscuit dough before I get all my biscuits cut. I'm lucky this time she's manning the camera and can't get to the dough first.
Oh, yeah, I can multitask.
And Amy steers some dough. And I got some extra dough here, so I'll just throw it in a container and Amy can eat that while she's waiting.
Yep.
Alright, now we'll just put these in the oven. And when they come back, I have my little cup of melted butter. And I put that on the top of them when I bring them out. and we'll get back to you as soon as they're done baking. They bake for about 10 to 15 minutes till they start to get golden brown. All right, we're about to take the biscuits out of the oven. Nice and getting brown on top. And I'll take my butter and just lay it on there. Give them a nice coat. Really brings out the brownness on top. We like our biscuits really buttery. And I don't think I mentioned it before, the butter is 3/4 of a cup grated, and then I usually hold back the other 1/4 cup for the melted butter. And now if you want to, you can stick these back in the oven just to brown these tops a little bit more. The butter gives it a nice sheen to it, but Amy and I are hungry, so we're going to dig into these right now. And these biscuits come out all nice and flaky. Look at that, piping hot. Just waiting for some jelly. All right, it's that easy to make delicious biscuits. All right, here's our biscuits, all ready to be eaten. A little butter, some homemade strawberry jelly, and the moment of truth. This is a really good recipe because it's just flaky enough, just puffy enough. It's not too dense, and it's nice and buttery. I'll put all the ingredients and the recipe in the description, and let us know how your biscuits come out if you decide to try our recipe. Have a great day.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and grow something for your family.